absolutamente solo, cabizbajo. Julian se ha ido.
The transfer window is about to shut, and for these 7 players, time is running out fast. These are 7 players who desperately need a move before deadline day arrives. Julian Alvarez, Atletico Madrid. The situation has become genuinely toxic.
Os dejo un pasillo de torero después de una mala faena, en plan, pitadme a mí, que sea individual.
When Atletico opened their season at home to Villarreal on August the 23rd, Alvarez came on as a substitute in the 66th minute to loud boos from his own fans. A hostile reception that was felt even when his name was simply announced pre-match. A startling turn for a player who scored 19 goals in all competitions just last season. Barcelona have pursued him relentlessly all summer as their long-term successor to Robert Lewandowski. And Alvarez is said to have verbally accepted a 5-year contract offer from the Catalans back in May. Atletico may have flatly refused to sell, insisting his release clause sits at an enormous €500 million and that he remains contracted until 2030. Club president Enrique Cerezo has publicly criticised Barcelona's approach, while Alvarez himself told reporters at this summer's World Cup, where he reached the final with Argentina before losing to Spain, that a transfer would be the best thing for everyone. Diego Simeone has so far resisted calls to drop him from matchday squads entirely, but with his own fanbase now turning on him week after week, staying at the Metropolitano looks increasingly untenable for player and club alike. Gabriel Martinelli, Arsenal. Martinelli's stance has shifted dramatically in the space of just a few weeks. Having previously rejected a €45 million offer from Galatasaray, insisting he wanted to stay with the English champions, the Brazilian is now open to a move to Saudi Arabia after Al Hilal entered the picture with an offer in the region of £50 million against Arsenal's £60 million valuation. A gap Arteta's club still hopes to close before deadline day. Christos Solis's arrival and continued interest in other stars on the left have already left Martinelli further down the left-wing pecking order than at any point since his breakthrough season. He was left out of the squad entirely for Arsenal's Community Shield win over Manchester City and again for their Premier League opener against Coventry City. Both matches Arsenal won 3-0 without him, a scoreline that's only strengthened the club's belief that they can move on without disruption. Arsenal signed him from Ituano for just £6 million back in 2019, and a sale now, 7 years and 174 goal involvements later, would represent a remarkable financial return while freeing up funds for Arteta's continued pursuit of Julian Alvarez. Enzo Fernandez, Chelsea. Fernandez's situation has dragged on for the entire summer without real resolution. Chelsea set a firm asking price of £120 million and gave interested clubs until August the 14th to meet it. That deadline passed without a formal offer, even from Manchester City, where his old Chelsea manager Enzo Maresca now works and is said to admire him as a potential midfield rebuild option, with Rodri's own future decided toward Barcelona rather than the Etihad, and Bernardo Silva long gone, having completed his free transfer to Real Madrid back in June. New Chelsea boss Xabi Alonso has been unambiguous in public, stating simply, Enzo is a Chelsea player, and starting him on the bench for the club's Premier League opener against Fulham, where he came on in the 65th minute to help secure a 3-2 win, despite the noise surrounding his future. With City still weighing a fresh approach before deadline day, and Fernandez himself yet to publicly rule anything out, the situation remains unresolved heading into the final week. Bradley Barcola, Paris Saint-Germain. Barcola's stock inside the PSG dressing room has fallen fast. Since his 2023 move from Lyon, the France international has racked up 39 goals and 37 assists in 152 appearances, and won 13 pieces of silverware, including 3 straight Ligue 1 titles and back-to-back Champions League crowns. Yet he slipped behind Désiré Doué in Luis Enrique's pecking order and now wants a fresh start. Liverpool made him their top attacking target after Mohamed Salah's exit, but talks have stalled over price, with PSG reportedly demanding upwards of £130 million against Liverpool's £120 million ceiling. And PSG's own move to sign Ferran Torres from Barcelona has only added fresh layers of squad reshuffling to an already crowded forward line. That gap has handed Arsenal an opening, and the Gunners, still searching for a genuine left-sided upgrade after missing out on Vinicius Jr., are said to be monitoring the standoff closely and could yet hijack the move if Liverpool refuse to budge. March. PSG president Nasser Al-Khelaifi has stopped short of ruling out a sale entirely, and with Barcola contracted until 2028 and reluctant to sign an extension, the next few days could decide where a 23-year-old still viewed as one of Ligue 1's most gifted attackers spends his prime years. Joshua Zirkzee, Manchester United. 2 seasons of underwhelming returns, just 9 goals and 4 assists in 75 appearances have left Zirkzee's Old Trafford career at a dead end. United have opened the door to a loan exit, and the Dutchman has made clear through his camp that he wants to return to Serie A, where he first announced himself at Bologna. Juventus appeared close to completing a deal before Napoli entered the race as a genuine alternative, though both Italian clubs need to offload other forwards first before either can actually move for a player United signed for £36.5 million just 2 summers ago. Zirkzee's understood to favour Juventus, the club he watched growing up, but with United also wanting an obligation to buy rather than a simple loan, the deal remains stuck in negotiation, with the clock running down fast, and a growing sense inside Old Trafford that his exit needs to happen one way or another before deadline day. Marc Caicedo, Barcelona. Caicedo's fall from Barcelona's plans has been stark. The 22-year-old La Masia graduate, who made 75 appearances for the first team since 2022, started just 10 league games last season, missed out on Spain's World Cup winning squad this summer, and has now been left out of Hansi Flick's plans entirely for the new campaign. The symbolism could not be clearer. His number 17 shirt has already been handed to new signing Anthony Gordon. Nottingham Forest have emerged as favourites for his signature, leading a chase that also includes Newcastle, Aston Villa, Brighton and Sunderland, with Barcelona seeking at least €30 million to sanction the sale. Caicedo has already turned down offers worth up to €40 million from Saudi Arabia, preferring to stay in Europe and keep his hopes of a senior Spain call-up alive, and a deal with Forest could be finalised before deadline day if talks continue to progress at their current pace. Jean-Philippe Mateta, Crystal Palace. This is the messiest situation on the list. Mateta, who scored 18 Premier League goals last season and represented France at this summer's World Cup, believes the 12-month extension Palace activated on his contract back in December 24 is legally invalid. A stance the club has firmly rejected throughout the dispute, and he took his case first to a Premier League independent tribunal, then to FIFA itself. FIFA ruled earlier this week that it does not have jurisdiction over the matter, leaving Mateta still contractually tied to Palace until the summer of 2027 regardless. He nearly joined AC Milan for over €30 million in January before a knee injury collapsed that move. And Aston Villa have held long-standing interest dating back to 2024, watching the tribunal process closely in case it hands them an unexpected opening. Despite the very public legal standoff, Mateta still started Palace's Premier League opener at Everton, playing 63 minutes in a 2-0 defeat, seemingly unaffected on the pitch by the chaos surrounding his contract off it. With his dispute unresolved and deadline day fast approaching, this saga could still end in almost any direction. A free transfer fight, a compromise sale, or simply another season at Selhurst Park under a cloud. 7 players, 7 futures hanging on the next 7 days. Deadline day has a habit of resolving exactly these kind of situations in the most dramatic way possible, often within its final chaotic hour. But which of these moves do you think actually happens before the window shuts? Drop it in the comments below, hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so that you never miss a video like this from us. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.